Good evening, beautiful people. I hope you are enjoying this sunny day as much as I am. I got my sunglasses out, unburied them from the depths of my car's glove box, and I've been out there enjoying some vitamin D this morning, so I hope you have been too. So this morning, as we dive in, or I guess this evening, as we dive into the devotional, I want you to think with me. I think most of you probably drive, and I want you to think about, so when you come up to a stoplight, usually this happens when it's green, and you're wanting to turn right, and you're at one of those stoplights that has a crosswalk coming across that intersection there to your right. Sometimes that crosswalk is activated while you've also got a green light to go and turn that way. And you have to wait a second for that pedestrian to get across, right? But usually, and often, especially if you've got a bigger car, as that pedestrian's crossing, you've got some people behind you that aren't too terribly pleased with you. You have them honking at you, you have them doing whatever, nudging up to your rear bumper, and they don't understand that you're stopped for good reason. You're stopped waiting for this pedestrian to cross. So this brings me to the point of perspective. So when we go about things in our lives, there's all sorts of different perspectives, right? There's our personal perspective. Our personal perspective is that pedestrian's crossing right now. I can't go drive. I'm going to hit the pedestrian, or at the very least break the law, right? Whereas the people behind us, they think you're sitting there texting at a green light, right? You're not going as you should. And perspective is wildly different. But if you think about it, in this case, there is a right and a wrong perspective. The people behind you they lack the perspective to understand the gravity of the situation, whereas you actually have all the information to assess the situation. So in our relationship with God, oftentimes this is reversed. Oftentimes we don't have the perspective. We lack the ability to grasp the magnitude of that perspective, and God has so infinitely much more perspective than we do. This impacts so many areas of our lives, and I think oftentimes it leads to frustration for us. We're sitting there honking the horn. We're mad that God's put the brakes on what we want to do, and we want Him to act on it right now. And we think He has every reason to go, and we don't see any reason for Him not to. And then oftentimes later, after you drive through that intersection, after the car in front of you finally goes because the intersection's clear, and you realize that, oh, there was a good reason for that. There was a good reason for the wait. There was a good reason to stop for a second. This is highlighted in 2 Corinthians 4:16. Therefore, we do not lose heart. Though outwardly we are wasting away, yet inwardly we are being renewed day by day. For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all. So we fix our eyes not on what is seen. Gotta love the motorcycles outside, right? So we fix our eyes not on what is seen, but on what is unseen. Since what is seen is temporary, but what is unseen is eternal. There's a lot to unpack there. So first of all, we're looking at outwardly we're wasting away, yet inwardly we're being renewed day by day. Sometimes I feel this one. I kind of interpret this to mean our bodies are fragile. Our bodies are finite. As I go through health struggles that some of you guys know about, I'm very aware of how finite my body can be, how much of a limitation it can sometimes be or feel like it is. But there's also that even though I'd love to be healed, I'd love to have that outward renewal, it's not time. And it's not the time or place, I've been told. And so inwardly, I have to rely on that peace. Okay, it's not time for it right now. There's a reason I'm going through this. There's a bigger picture here. And so inwardly, we're being renewed day by day. There's that sense of peace. There's that sense of hope. And it requires an acknowledgement that you don't have all perspective. And I think that's really hard for us as humans, because I know I'm the type of person where if I don't have all the information, I go down a rabbit trail until I have all the information. And when I can't access all the information, it drives me absolutely insane. You can ask my husband. He will take a box that he didn't expect to come, a package he didn't expect to come, and he'll receive it, but we're on our way out the door. So we pick the package up as we're heading out the way out the door. And he won't want to open it until we get back. And I'm like, we gotta know what's in that package. Like, we didn't expect this to come. We gotta know what's in it. Like, I gotta know the information. I gotta know the perspective. And I know there's other people like me. There's also people like my husband that he could care less. So if you're a person like me, we have to work harder to be content with our lack of perspective. I think, though, everybody to some degree wants to have as much perspective as they possibly can. There's something inherent about kind of our fight or flight reflex that wants to know as much as we possibly can in order to keep ourselves safe, to protect ourselves. But when we're Christians, we have to rely a little bit on the fact that we've got a Heavenly Father watching over us, and He has so much more perspective than we do. Well, that's all I've got for you guys tonight. I encourage you to think more about this. Think about areas of your life where you might be struggling with this. Areas where God's told you no, and you don't know why. And work hard to come to a peace within your heart. Ask Him to bring that peace, because it's available. It is there. And with that, see you guys later.